Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. With the beta of Modern Warfare 2 dropping the past few weeks, I wanted to give you all my thoughts on the PS4 version and then the PC version individually. But the footage from my PS4 grind was unusable and I had to scrap that. But having said that, with PC early access, I was back on the grind and I did have a lot of fun. There are obviously some issues that are hopefully fixed with the launch, but overall I liked most of the changes. Starting with the maps. The maps I played were Museum, Greenberg Hotel, Farm 18, Mercado, Sharif Bay, Saeed, and I think that was all the maps. I think they released one more which was for Ground War, which I didn't play that. Overall, I love the maps. The visuals and design are really good. Some of the verticality is also great since on parts of Farm 18, you can run from one side of the map to the other without actually touching the ground. There are obvious counters to playing like this, but it's still a possibility. One thing is an issue with some of the maps in my opinion, like Mercado, the center lane. There are a lot of objects which provide a lot of head glitches for people to mount up and camp. And there are some places where you can get stuck on the geo, like the forklift or the dumpster truck. Another issue with the maps is that the core MP maps do feel a little too large for 66, and without the traditional mini map, which is supposed to be back for the full release, it really slows down gameplay. The guns feel good, but there are also some extremely fast killing guns like the MP5 or as known in game the Lachman sub. There are some guns which are extremely OP like the shotguns and the Lockwood Mark II. The new gunsmith is amazing to be honest, and the weapon progression is so much better than the traditional linear unlocking system. This new system does force you to use weapons you won't traditionally use. Like I don't really like burst fire weapons, and in Cold War I leveled up the M16 only when it was kind of meta in Warzone, and in Vanguard I did 2 of the 3 burst rifles because I wanted to get atomic but gave up because I couldn't be bothered to do the third. But with this system, to get the Lachman sub, the MP5, I need to start with the Lachman 762 so that I can unlock the AR, the LMG, and which further unlocks the sub, which is good. Kinda kills 2 birds with 1 stone, especially with the attachment unlocking system as well. From week 1 to week 2, they did reduce muzzle flash and smoke, and the smoke from firing the weapon, which is noticeable and helps a lot. There's something about gameplay which is a potential problem which comes into play with the next section, which brings us into movement. Honestly, you can insert an old joke here, but not having to slide cancel is amazing. In week 1, I was trying to slide cancel out of habit, but with week 2, I'm moving better and smoother. The movement overall still feels a little clunky. There isn't much smoothness to it at times. I still have to play around with settings and stuff like that, but having said that, the game still favors pre-aiming and holding angles, so even if you jump around you can make it harder to be killed, but then the sprint to fire speeds don't let you take advantage of that. So that slower sprint to fire time along with the TTK we currently have basically compounds the two, and the concept of whoever shoots first wins the gunfight is more relevant than ever. But that major issue aside, movement is different, which is nice. Game modes. The typical domination TDM is nice, and obviously there isn't much to innovate with them, but prisoner rescue and knockout is fun. But there's also caveat to that one. You need teammates who can actually help. I played a few games where my teammates weren't as good at all, and it was a washout. The one aspect of prisoner rescue and knockout I really loved was being able to revive teammates. It does potentially help turn a game around if the team works together, but I'll have a clip here where I was revived and my teammate wasn't hearing. Other players approached and the opposing team got 2 easy kills. SND is a lot of fun on this game, and I cannot wait for ranked for this. I didn't play third player Mosh Pit at all, and I don't think I will, since if I wanted to play in third person mode I'd play Fortnite. That brings us to the last game mode which I played, Invasion. Invasion was fun, but spawns are terrible. It spawns you all the way back at the starting spawn, so you spend a lot of time in the game just returning to gunfights, and in those actual gunfights having AI is okay, but not being able to tell the difference between AI and non-AI enemies hurts a lot, since a lot of times you're killing an enemy combatant and it turns out to be an AI, and then you get third partied by non-AI players. Now, the overall things I love about the game, remembering how much of the revive or defuse you've done. I had an instance where I was rezzing a teammate and I thought I heard something, so I stopped to check and then came back and picked up where I left off. And I know Iceman Azek talked about it in one of his videos on on SND as well. Weapon progression, as I mentioned previously. Maps, as an F1 fan, I was excited for the Marina Bay map, but then that led to disappointment since they never made it playable in the beta, and Activision seems to be scrubbing mentions of the map, so we will have to wait and see what happened there. As mentioned previously, not needing to slide cancel is amazing. Overall things I don't like about the game. Audio in week 2 is better than week 1, but it definitely needs work. The head glitches and lack of visibility in some parts of the maps are also need a lot of work. Weapon balancing on the MP5. SBMM and server quality are still a big issue. I heard numerous games where I was on 110 ping and on average, and more than half the opposing team was on 7 ping. So that becomes slightly unfair. Overall things I'm still unsure about. One, reload cancel not being a part of the game. I like the change to make reloading your weapons more about timing and being more tactical, but since I play on high ping lobbies, I tend to need to reload more often, and being able to cancel reload has saved my life in game so many times, and not having that option now is hurting my playstyle. Exclusive Ace did a video about where you can make a tiny window where a reload cancel is possible, so it adds a skill gap, but let's see how and if that is changed. 2. Perks. The new perk system is nice, but again, as Exclusive Ace talked about in his videos on perks, there is a visible snowballing effect, especially if the teams are unbalanced and you're trying to turn things around, or you get thrown in the middle of an in-progress game. To conclude, honestly, I like the game so far and I'm excited for the release. Hopefully some of the issues that worry everyone are mitigated, if not completely fixed. I'd love to know your thoughts, so comment them down below and we can discuss them. Or jump in our Discord and we can talk about them. Link to the Discord is in the description below. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all consider liking the video and subbing to stay tuned for more MW2 gameplay and videos as the game launches. See you all in the next video.